Hi everybody, welcome to tonight's Taubmans live colour advice session. This is our first session for 2025. My name's Fiona, I'm the Taubmans colour specialist, and we are here this evening to help you with all of your queries around colour. We're here, we can put together or help you put together that perfect colour palette. We're also here to help you if you're embarking on a renovation or a project and you'd like some advice. We can certainly help you. And we're here to help you with our wonderful portfolio of products that we have that have been designed to protect and beautify your space. So we have some amazing products that can help you bring your project to life. So I'm going to let you know how our sessions run. I'm feeling a little bit rusty because it's been a while since I've been on air, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm sure I'll ease into it. I'm going to be on screen for the next half an hour. We'll be streaming live, and look, it's a fantastic opportunity for you to pop any questions that you do have into our feed, and I'll certainly do my best to answer them for you. After we finish streaming live, I generally sit back behind the computer, if you like, and continue to answer questions for a further half an hour. Sometimes, look, it can be an hour and a half. It just depends how many questions that we do get. So, and then once we've finished streaming, that is a great opportunity for you to pop any images or photos of areas that you'd like some help with into our feed, because unfortunately when we are streaming live, it's impossible to upload images. So that's kind of how our sessions roll. So look, it's a great opportunity for you, if you do have questions, to pop them into the feed now, and I will do my very best to help you this evening. So I'm going to kick off. We've had quite a few questions that have come in. Actually, we've had a lot of questions that have come in over the time that we have been having, I could say, you know, our summer break or a little bit of a break. And a lot of them are around colour, and a lot of them are around the direction that we're going with colour. And look, for an example, only yesterday I had something come to me regarding, you know, are we done with greys? So I'm going to talk a little bit about colour this evening. Look, we're not done with greys. Look, grey is, look, actually, I'm going to start by saying, you know, colour is such a personal choice. So some people gravitate towards colours because, you know, when they look at a colour, they feel something. For me, if you could say it, look, I'm having a love affair with green at the moment. Green is a fantastic colour. It's very calming. I find it calming. I find it refreshing. And so I'm starting to, actually I have been probably for the last couple of years using various tones of green throughout my space. So yeah, so I'm, as I said, I gravitate towards green. So when we talk about colours and the trending, so the first thing I guess is to understand that, as I just said, it's very, very personal. So if you like grey and you prefer to work with grey, absolutely, grey's fine. And you know, when you're building a colour scheme, it's looking at the elements that exist within your space. So for example, if you're looking to do an exterior colour scheme, the things that I look at and to build upon are, sorry, thanks. So I'm looking at the feed here, there's questions coming through. Thanks, Chris, it's nice to be back. Okay, so when I'm building a colour scheme, I'm looking at elements. And for exterior, I'm looking at things such as, you know, things like window frames, the colour of my roof, the garage door. If they're things that are staying and we're not changing the colour of those, then it's building that colour scheme upon that. And then for interior, I'm also looking at, you know, what elements stay or what elements exist that we're working with. And that may be looking at the, again, the colour of your window frames will help to influence your wall colour, but also things like your flooring, whether you've got, you know, carpet, whether you've got timber flooring, and also the colour of your joinery in your kitchen. They're the things that you can look at, and then you can start to build a colour scheme from that. So look, grey is, if you love grey, find the right grey that works for you by looking at what elements exist. And you know, grey can be looked at, there's a few different ways you can view grey. I like to put them into, say, 4 categories. So you've got a grey that is a blue-based grey, and most people, when they think about grey, that's what they think of. Then you have a grey that has a red or a purple base. And then you've got a grey that has a brown base, which can be commonly referred to as a greige. And then there's also a grey that tends to have a green sort of base or a green undertone. So for me, when I'm working with greys, I find that the grey that has that greeny undertone is more of a neutral style grey, and it's going to pair back really well with a lot of your other elements. So if you're looking for greys, that is a fantastic place to start. But like I said, colour is so personal, entirely up to you. But we are seeing a move towards warmer tones. We're starting to see, so as I just talked about those greys, you'd be looking at a grey that's more of a greyish, really coming to, I suppose, coming on the scene, really coming, it's really on trend. And also to those greys that have that sort of greeny undertone. We're seeing a lot of that coming into the colour world, if you like, or being used a lot more. Okay, so my first question. Okay, Melinda, thank you very much for joining us this evening. So when colour drenching and painting ceilings in a colour, are most people using the exact same colour as their walls, or are they choosing a slightly different but similar shade? That's a really good question. So colour drenching generally is, excuse me, that same one colour that's placed onto your ceilings, walls, doors and trims. However, you're using a variance of products. So for example, a product that's fit for purpose. So ordinarily a ceiling is painted in a flat, and the reason that we paint, or we use a flat ceiling paint, is the fact that it's going to prevent glancing light, and if there are any imperfections, it's going to hide them really well. And then for your walls, you can use, we've got Endure. Look, I love Endure. You can use Endure in a matte, or you can use Endure in a low sheen. And then for your doors and trims, generally you're looking at using, look, a semi-gloss or a gloss. And the beauty of when you gloss a colour up, it starts to intensify just that little bit more. So I don't know whether you'll be able to see this. Oh yeah, you can. It depends on the way I hold it. Okay, so here is a colour chip that I have glossed up, if you like. So on this side, cack-handed when I'm looking at the screen. On this side, I have put just a piece of clear sticky tape, and you can see how the colour intensifies, if I get the reflection happening here right, due to it being glossed up. I don't know whether, I'm hoping you can see that. That's probably a little bit better if I do that. And then it's kind of, it's still intense, but less intense because it's in a low sheen there. So a fantastic way when you're doing that colour drenching, using a product, as I said, that is fit for purpose. So it's designed for that area. And then, you know, you can start to play, and by glossing up, you really get that pop. I hope that helps. If you're wanting any more information about that, pop something else into the feed and I'll be happy to answer further. Thank you. Hi Annette, thank you very much for joining us. So you're struggling for a colour for a teenage boy's bedroom that has ADHD and ASD. He can't make up his mind. So automatically when I'm thinking of that, I'm thinking of a space that perhaps promotes a little bit of calmness and relaxing. So you could potentially look at at blue. Blue is one of the colours that is known to have pretty much no effect on, I suppose you could say, like, it doesn't have any effect. So for example, if you were to use red, you know, you can walk into a room with red and your heart rate can actually increase. Blue, no known effect on us, other than it promotes relaxation and it's very calming. And that's why when you walk into, let's just say, a lot of doctor surgeries, healthcare practices, etc., they use blue because of that. So there are some wonderful shades of blue. You could even go into some beautiful sort of blues, it's blue-green if you like, as well. And it depends on how dark you want to go. So I'm thinking, let's have a look here. All right, that's a beautiful colour. I'm thinking, I'm talking to myself as I have a look at the fan deck, don't mind me. I'm just trying to find that right shade of blue that's going to be. Navy, actually navy would be lovely. There's a beautiful colour here, and it's one that I adore. And it's actually, I suppose it's a really deep blue, but it actually has, you could almost say it has a little bit of red to it as well. So there's a colour here called, I don't know whether you can see that, it's called Black Flame. That's a colour I would recommend having a look at. It's perfect for a bedroom. And given teenagers tend to like things darker, especially boys. I know that. I've done quite a few colour consultancies where I've consulted for teenage boys, and yeah, a lot of them are like, can I just have black? But yeah, so something like that would be fantastic. Let me also find you. This is, where are we? Oh, Admiral Blue as well is a beautiful blue. I don't know, bear in mind that you're looking at a screen, so it's always advisable to visit a Taubmans stockist, something like Bunnings, one of our Taubmans trade centres, and have a look at the colour wall and see whether you can pick up the colour chip, or I always recommend grabbing a sample pot and testing colour in your own space, because depending on your lighting and the elements that exist within this space, colour can change. And there's also another lovely blue, Annapolis blue there. So have a look at those, test them. What I recommend when you test colour in your own space is, so if you go to Bunnings, getting yourself a sample pot and grab yourself a large piece of cardboard. Now when our paint turns up at Bunnings, it comes on pallets, and in between each layer of paint is what they call pallet liners. And the pallet liners are large pieces of cardboard. So if you were to acquire one of those, and if you cut yourself a metre by a metre square piece of cardboard, and I would suggest painting 3 coats. So, you know, you're putting your first coat on, you're waiting for it to dry, adequate drying time, and then your second, adequate drying time, then your third. And then once dry, you can start to use it. But 3 coats, the reason I say that is the first coat is going to aid as an undercoat, so that you're going to get sufficient coverage and film build. So by doing that, you've got your metre by a metre square piece of cardboard. What I then recommend you do is to take your piece of cardboard. So here is your wall, here is your ceiling. Grab your piece of cardboard and put it on the wall closest to the ceiling. Test the colour in daylight, and then also test the colour of an evening, late afternoon, when you've got to put your artificial lighting on, so you can see how the colour works for you. The other area to also test that sample is, here is your wall, here is your floor. You're putting your sample up against the wall here, so it's touching on the floor if you like. And then again, looking at the colour in daylight or natural light, because that's when you see colour in its truest form. And then also of an evening with your artificial lighting again, to see how the colour works for you, because colour will play within your space, in your environment, because of the elements and your lighting. So it's really important to test that so that you're not disappointed. That's what I would recommend. If there's any further questions, if I can help you any further, please pop something else into the feed. I'll be very happy to help you. Thank you. Hi Layla, thank you very much for joining us. So what do you see as the new colour trends for 2025? I have here in my hand our latest colour trends. So it's titled Home, and all of our colours are displayed in the front cover. And there are some fantastic ways to use the colour throughout this little booklet. So you can see here, it's giving you an area, it's giving you a little blurb about the colour, etc., the area, and then it's giving you a collection, wrong way round. Then it's giving you a pre-made colour scheme, but it also tells you underneath where you can use the colour, and it also gives you product recommendations. I really love this. I think it's fantastic, and if you're looking for colour and you're looking for colour schemes and advice, etc., this is somewhere to start. So you can also visit our website, and I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully we're going to be working really well. Beautiful. That has worked. Fantastic. I'll pop myself up in the corner. Wonderful. Okay, so if you visit www.taubmans.com.au, you will be taken to our homepage, which looks something like this. And this is where you will see our 2025 colour trends. So on here, as you can see here, it's well worth, Layla, having a look around here, exploring. So it gives you just a blurb, and then you can explore the colour palette. So you can go room by room or zone, if you like. So I'm going to start with, I'll start with whole house. So it's giving you, oh, and you can also, as you can see here, you can subscribe, which is fantastic because you get some wonderful Colour Together magazines which have stories, information, etc. So it can keep you abreast of trends, etc. by doing that. And then you can see here, so these are colour schemes that I've created that you can use throughout your home. So whether you prefer more of a warm colour scheme or you're more heading towards something that's a little bit cooler, or whether you are looking for something that's a little bit more neutral. There's some fantastic colours here and they've been designed to work together so you could create a whole colour scheme throughout your whole home. For example, you could use something like, looking at the neutral, alpine snow on all your walls. You could use crisp white on your doors and trims. And you know what, gazebo white, if you're wanting an area that has a little bit more intensity, you could use that. You could use it to create a focal point in a space, or you could even use it to, you know, put on all your walls. But this is how this has been designed. Then you've got, I'll take you to the next one. Hopefully it's taking a moment. Okay, kitchen and dining. So let's get rid of that one. There's some beautiful colour schemes here. Now green is very much on trend. We saw that last year and it is a colour that has been now coined or described as a new neutral. And I do believe that we're going to see green around for quite a few years to come. It's fantastic. The tone, the tonality of the green has changed slightly. You can see, like for example, in the Create palette green thumb, we've got a green that has a lot more yellow. So you can see that there, grey hair, and a beautiful green that has more of a, as it says, that grey sort of undertone. And then going into Nourish, I love this colour scheme. Like Cinnamon Donut is a beautiful colour going into Earthy Cane and Shoe Leather. So look, these colours, you can work them together as a scheme, or you can simply, for example, on Nourish, you could just use Alpine Snow if you wanted to keep it really neutral and then use pops of colour throughout. So it continues throughout. You've got your living and theatre. And what else have we got? Some wonderful colours here. So you've got Evoke, something a little bit more moody. Cocoon as well. We're seeing this, I'm going to say purple, but there's lots more elements to just this purple, but we're seeing those tones really coming into play, or on trend if you like. There's many reasons why colours come to life and are what we call a trending colour. And for me, when I was looking at what's trending and you know what colours are going to be for the season, or brought in for the season if you like, purple definitely is a colour. Purple, due to the fact that you know there's a lot of AI which is really coming into play, and I think that using those purpley tones sort of symbolises that. And Tomahawk and Zelda, and Foxdale, they make a beautiful colour scheme, and I think that having a living or dining space with those, especially, or even a media room where you want to snuggle up, watch TV, etc., perfect colour scheme for that. Okay, what else do I have here? I've still got some more questions. I'll answer those. I'll just quickly take you through. I'll continue on with this and then I'll come back to the questions. Bathroom's great. There's some fantastic colour schemes here for bathrooms. Look, tiles are certainly something that is used a lot, but we are seeing now colour, and by that I mean colour on walls as opposed to just tiles being utilised in the bathroom space. So, you know, if you're wanting something that evokes calm, relaxation, unwind is certainly a colour scheme that will help you to do that. Escape, I think this is a beautiful colour scheme, especially things like Aria Ivory and Princess Bling, which pair back beautifully with travertine and terrazzo, etc., that we're seeing being used a lot throughout homes now. And then if you're wanting some accent pops of colour, I think that Beyond Beige and Fifth Avenue are certainly a couple of fantastic colours. And then again, a bit of green. We're seeing a lot of green, and this beautiful dark green velvet is a colour that would look fantastic in a bathroom. So yeah, these have been designed to help you. You know, if you're starting a project and you're like, oh, I'm really not sure where to begin, this is a great place to begin. And I'll quickly show you the bedroom. It really wants me to subscribe. Okay, so the bedroom here, again, some beautiful colours. So Dream, Deep Gorge, and Wine Truffle, beautiful tones. Sleep, as we've mentioned before, when we were talking about blues. Blues are a fantastic colour that help to promote relaxation. And I do believe that a bedroom with a dark blue just creates a wonderful aesthetic for the space. And then Rest again, so I'm bringing in that dark green velvet. So that's I'll stop sharing and bring myself back. Fantastic. That's a sneak peek at our 2025 colour trends. You can pick up one of these brochures. I know that they are in available Bunnings, for example. On the colour wall, hop in there, have a look. I mean, we've even put together, I should have mentioned that before, there's even some fantastic colour schemes paired back with Colorbond. We all know that Colorbond is a very, very popular colour that's being used, and that kind of sets the tone when you're creating an exterior colour scheme. And there's a lot of white within these, because I do know that white is very much loved when it comes to creating exterior colour schemes. We've also got a page titled Facade, with a beautiful selection of whites, perfect for exterior application, and then also the front door. Now, when I look at whites for exterior application, I'm very particular in the way that I look at a colour's LRV, which is what we refer to as light reflectance value. So if you think of a scale, 0 being black, 100 being white, and I look at colours that generally tend to sit at around about 65 to 75. Now, when you look at it, you might go, that is not white. However, when it's placed outside, and even in full sun, most colours, and particularly whites, tend to lighten up around 30%. So it's really important to understand that when you are looking at creating that exterior colour scheme, and understanding how your whites will perform for you. So that's how I, depict and decide on whites, ensuring that they're going to be fit for purpose. But the other thing I recommend you do is, as I said before, it's testing via a sample pot. It's the best thing you can do. And again, it's testing, you're doing your metre by a metre square sample. And as I said before, 3 coats to ensure that you've got that coverage. And that first coat aids as an undercoat, because most of our products are a 2-coat system. But you're going to put your sample out in full sun so that you can see how it performs for you, but also too in areas that lack light, so you can see how it's going to look as well. So that's what I recommend when you're testing colours for exterior application. I hope that helps. Okay, what else do I have here? Okie dokie. Hi Stacey. Annette, no, navy would not be too dark. I think I may have answered that, but if not, I hope that that helps. Hi Stacey, thanks for joining us. So any tips to make rooms appear larger? So you've got a small bathroom and kitchen. Yes. So what I recommend is, if you're going to use white to create that illusion of more space, it would be to paint your ceiling, walls, doors and trims in the same colour. But as I mentioned before, it's using a product that is fit for purpose. So I'll repeat this again. If it's a ceiling, using a flat so that it prevents glancing light, and it helps to hide any imperfections. For your walls, something like Taubmans Endure in a low sheen or even a matte. And then for your doors and trims, you could use something like a Taubmans water-based enamel. And the reason I'm saying water-based enamel is that it's going to stay true to colour and it won't yellow or golden up. And you could use that in a semi-gloss or gloss finish. And the reason I'm saying that one colour up and over, so what ordinarily happens is, if you've got a ceiling and it's painted white and then you've got your walls painted in another colour, when your eye sort of casts its way around the room, if you like, it's going to stop where the colour change meets. And subconsciously the eye looks around and you can, kind of size up the room. Whereas when it is that one colour up and over, the eye doesn't have anywhere where it can particularly stop. And so when you look at it, it creates the illusion of more space. I hope that explains that okay. But what I recommend is, you know, if you're wanting to, if it's a small space, keeping it lighter helps to keep it more open. And I would start off with using a beautiful white. What I would recommend is ensuring that you are, for the kitchen, I'm just reading as I'm thinking here, for the kitchen, ensuring that the white that you use is going to pair back or work well with the existing joinery that you have. That will help to decide on the undertone of the white. So if you've got a warmer white, for example, on your joinery or your kitchen cupboards, I'd be looking for a white that has a slightly warmer undertone. And then the reverse, if you've got a cooler, looking for a white that has a cooler undertone. I hope that helps. And as for on-trend exterior colours for a Californian bungalow style home, can you give me a little bit more information, please? Are we looking at, I'm very familiar with the Californian bungalow, but do you have what colour brick, or give me a little bit more about the facade, and then I can help you with developing a fantastic colour scheme. So come back to me in the feed and I'll certainly come back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Okay. What else do I have here? Oh, fantastic. This is going to be super helpful. Thank you. Thanks, Layla. No worries at all. You're very welcome. Okay, what colours to go with? Hi, Andrea. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. So your question is, hi, what colours to go with shindig in a kitchen with wooden cabinets? I've painted the windows in the kitchen shindig. Beautiful. Let me just get shindig up here. And I guess, if you've painted the windows in the kitchen's shindig, okay, yeah, sorry, the wooden cabinets, don't mind me. Is it dark wood, light wood? Can you give me a little bit more information, please? And are you after a colour per se, or are you wanting some type of white or neutral, etc.? Give me just a little bit more and I'll be very happy to assist you. Okay, while I find shindig, and we will have a look. Righty-o. Shindig's beautiful. Where are we? For those at home, this is shindig here. And you've got wood. I'll wait to hear a little bit more, but I mean, if you went for a white, a beautiful, clean, crisp white would look fantastic with that. And given you've got timber joinery, and you could use, I'm thinking, something like crisp white would probably be, that's very nice. Thank you very much. That's it, Trade Service. You're saying it's so great to have the live sessions back. I'm a little bit rusty tonight. It's been a little while. I'm feeling it. I'm not going to lie, but it's all good. Okay. Okay, what else have we got here? Just while I wait for Andrea. Okay, thanks, Andrea. So I'm after a farmhouse theme, I think. I'm after an off-white or pink. It's a medium black wood, so not too dark. Fantastic. Okay, so let me have a look. Yeah, beautiful. Soft pink could be quite stunning with shindig. And I'm thinking possibly a pink that is slightly... Okay, I've got lots of, oh, let's have a look here. That is simply stunning. Now, I've gone for a dusty type of pink, and it's a colour called, let me just get this one here as well. That's okay, I'm just having a nice little conversation with myself, everybody. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so you could go, I say you could go two ways. I'm actually thinking this is preferable. Oh, that's really lovely. Okay, so with Shindig, you could put Alberta Rose. Now I'm going to hold this up. It's probably going to be very awkward, mind you, but that's okay. This could look beautiful. So I don't know whether you can see that. So that is Alberta Rose and there is your Shindig here, and they just sing when they're put together, and I think they would look marvellous with your timber joinery as well. That would be something I'd definitely have a look at, and I would suggest trialing a sample pot. If you're wanting something slightly lighter, yeah, you could have a look at the next one up, which is Sea Anemone, and I'll pop that there. However, though, I really do think that the Alberta Rose, I don't know whether you can see that. There they are there. I really do think the Alberta Rose would be the way to go. Okay, so that concludes tonight. It's 8:30 already. I'm getting carried away here with colour, as I always do, which is fantastic. So what I'm going to do is, don't go away. I will continue to answer the questions, just not in front of the camera. So I'll hop behind the scenes, answer the rest of the questions. And if you've got any further questions, do pop them into the feed. And if you are wanting to share any images with me, please, now is the time that you can pop them into our feed. So thank you very much for joining our first session for 2025. The way we're going to run this year is next week, it'll be a tip by way of a video, and then the following week I will be back live again. But don't let that stop you. If you've got any questions in the meantime, you can certainly send them to us, and I'll be very happy to answer them for you, so via private message or even in our feed. So thanks again for joining us. Look forward to catching up with you all again very soon. And in the meantime, stay safe, everybody. And as I always say, happy painting. Thanks very much. Bye.